Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion is never gonna lose another game. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus ever again. I said it in a different fashion this time. Oh my god, I'm so... You ever get this thing where you're like... Very rarely do I hit the space bar by accident in Isaac. It happens mostly when you're like trying to skip a boss cinematic, but you're on a Curse of the Maze, so you like go in, you have the muscle memory to hit space, and then you accidentally use your item when you're not in the boss room. Now I'm like, oh my god, with Plan C, I'm gonna hit the space bar. I'm just gonna hit it. 0.95 speed, 8 rate of fire, 3 damage, negative luck. It's fine. I almost just literally hit the space bar. I'm trying to like avoid the self-fulfilling prophecy here. I don't know why I feel anxious. You shouldn't feel anxious when you know there's no chance of you conceivably making this mistake. As we've said many times, we're not going to lose here. I need to buy the gift. This is actually the most... And it sounds like I'm being a real YouTuber, you know? It sounds like I'm playing up the fact that things are more tense than they actually are. But I'm so nervous about hitting the space bar here. I'm actually holding my thumb elevated above the space bar, like, artificially. I'm not resting in a natural position right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get 7 cents. We're going to buy the gift. We'll hold it. Just be careful for a second. We'll hold it until the deal with the devil on the next floor. Sure. Not very good, but we'll hold it until the deal with the devil on the next floor, pop it, and then be good to go. If we don't get a deal with the devil, we pop it on the item room. Very simple. It is looking increasingly like we may not be able to get to 7 cents, as much as that pains me on a deep level. By the way, if we can get rid of our spacebar item, this run is great. You know, there's very little to complain about right here. Have you noticed? Things look very good. Blue Baby's Only Friend, it exists. Does it give it a Beelzebub synergy? I can never remember with this one. Also apparently does not break poops, but our stats are fine. Could use a little bit more, like, literal damage, but not much, really. Hey, please, hook me up with some financial compensation, if y'all don't mind. Okay, this is actually exactly what we're looking for. Now just be extremely very cool, and we can make it through this. Obviously, it would have been better to leave that, rainbow poop there. She's got a thing, it's called rainbow poop. Money, please. Not spiders. Very happy to see that. We have 9 cents. We'll buy the gift. Okay, now we're safe. Genuinely, really, actually safe. And this run now looks amazing. Oh my god, I can finally relax. I can rest my thumb again and get ready for the next floor. Oh, it's just, you gotta understand. I think people find themselves in that boat all the time in this game where, you know, one specific item shows up and it's like that Tim and Eric sketch that's like, you know, name 5 things that aren't Jackie Chan. No bananas, apricots, Jackie Chan. Oh, you know, like, if you tell someone not to fixate on something, it's not a guarantee necessarily, but there's a chance they're just gonna fixate on it. So that's what I was worried about there, was my fixation on pressing the spacebar. Not to mention Plan C is just like useless at the best of times. May actually qualify as the worst spacebar item in the game. I don't know. At least it has an impact. I appreciate that it's always going to have an impact, but that impact is mostly going to be negative, I think. We picked up the we picked up the mind, which for my money, and I want it now. J.G. Wentworth, anybody? It is probably the best of all the, you know, the body, the mind, the spirit related items. You know, I'm a poser. I've never seen a J.G. Wentworth commercial. I'm familiar with it being an American... I don't think it's a bank, is it? Is it like a private home loan operation? I'm not sure. Well, at least we got the Spirit Heart. And we're going to get an opportunity to do what we wanted here. In Canada, we have all sorts of other iconic commercials that you can only relate to if you saw them, which means you're probably Canadian or grew up in Canada. Wow, free goat head. Not too bad. So, like, for example, if you ever meet a Canadian and you want to endear yourself to them immediately, just go, sleep, country, Canada, and then wait literally a microsecond, and you will, in response, you will hear, why buy a mattress anywhere else? That's all you need to do. I shouldn't be giving away my my country's secrets like this, but it is sincere. That's all you need to do if you want it. It's like basically the second Canadian national anthem. I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, the Heritage Minutes, as I've talked about before. But I needed those peach baskets. Oh, dude, this run is now actually amazing. I am going to go back to that curse room. I'm kind of lost, actually, as to where I am on this floor. Which is a little ironic when you consider the item we got, but let's ignore that. You know which country has the best commercials, though? You know what I'm going to say. You don't need me to say. It's 100% Japan. You know, I don't know if there's ever been... there used to be shows on television that were like 20... Well, it wouldn't be 2017, because, like, let's be honest, it's kind of an antiquated idea, but it would be like, you know, 2001's funniest commercials. It's always, like, European and Japanese. There's the Japanese one where the guy, he's in an office and he makes instant ramen, and he, like, drinks the boiling water and snorts the flavor packet and then just mashes the noodles into his face, and everyone's like, who's that guy? Or the Dutch one, I think it's Dutch, where they're in a grocery store and a kid is yelling and then it's an ad for condoms, because it's like, the kid's a jerk. You don't want to have one of those. In Canada and America, most commercials are like, you pay nothing until 2016 at the Brick. The heavy hitters are all you need. Call 1-800-10-1330. It's more of an upstate New York sort of thing. Anyway, I feel like we don't do commercials right up here, but maybe I'm mistaken. I don't work in the... Well, I guess I technically do work in the advertising industry. In some ways, I exist on this platform to serve ads from a monetary standpoint, but from a... like an entertainment standpoint, that's not really the way I see it. Ooh, a little reroll perspective here. Okay, it's take 4,000 of this room. Can he do it? He can't do it! That's one of those times where I'm like, you know, the right thing to do there was probably not to shoot the thing that was gonna blow up in my face. Apparently that's, woo! Apparently that's proving to be a bad idea. So now we have the body, or sorry, the mind and the soul. And these are the two best of these three items. Now, if we got the body, I'm not going to kick it out of bed for eating crackers. But I feel like when you already... Oh, Billy. Let's go. Black rune, blank card. It's a classic combination. You know, I feel like getting HP when you already have HP is like it's in your genes to be 6'5" tall, and then Mother Nature's like, hey, here's another like inch. You're like, I don't, you know, some people need that inch. That person does not need the inch. They're probably just like, I'm tall, now I'm still tall. Demographically, 3% more people annually are going to ask me how the weather is up there. That's what it comes down to. I don't know. How tall is too tall, do you think? I've always been happy with my height. I know, you know, when we were in... I'll take stem cells for now, because I could use the extra inch, right? When I was in high school... I'm 5'10" for full transparency, which is like 175, 176 centimeters tall, somewhere in there. I was always on like the average side of, I guess by definition there is no average side, but you get the idea. It was always roughly average. Like when we ordered ourselves by height in high school, I was always right around the middle. And I didn't even realize until I got on the internet and discovered that I'm actually a manlet, because everybody on the internet is 6'3", and if you're under 6'3", something's wrong. But no, I've been lucky that, you know, height is one of those things I've never been self-conscious of. You might say, like, you know, well, wouldn't you like to be a couple inches taller? Nah. I wouldn't be against it, but it doesn't matter that much to me, I guess. If you're gonna make me taller, go all out. I want to be like Manute Bol's height. Not Uwe Boll, the film director of such masterpieces as Blood Rain and Dungeon Siege in the Name of the King. I'm talking full-on NBA player. Like, if you're gonna put me through some kind of gene therapy to change my height, it better come with a high percentage of getting a sick job. Particularly in the NBA. I'm trying to think of what... Are there other jobs for tall people? Not jobs that only tall people... Well, that's not really what I mean. Not jobs that, like, we sequester all tall people into one or two professions. But are there jobs where you're like, this person... We're looking for a candidate that's taller than average. Shelf stalker? Daywalker, shelf stalker. You guys ever play Dota? That's a dated reference for me, but anyway. I have to make references to Dota, at least 3 per month, because the International is coming to my city, so... I don't know why, but like the second thing I thought of when I thought about jobs for tall people was butler. Someone tweeted me... yeah, we'll take it. Someone tweeted me the greatest idea for a joke that I have no idea how to follow up on. And I'll give it to you the same way I got it. They said, hey, I don't really know that much about rap music, but I was thinking about this joke the other day. What if, Alfred from Batman, but instead of being Bruce Wayne's butler, they were Lil Wayne's butler? Sorry, Wheezy, that's it. Yeezy's the other one. Kanye West. I don't get it. Kanye, last name starts with West, name's Yeezy. Lil Wayne has a Y in his name. He's well, actually, it makes sense. I guess it does start with W. Anyway, the point is, give me this book, and then allow me to take this book. I should have used the book of Revelations once, or sorry, the book, the Satanic Bible once, because I think we would have had Bookworm by now, wouldn't we? Maybe not. Where'd my Demon Heart go is basically what I'm asking here. I don't think I used it at all. But yeah, I don't know how to... Oh, that's gonna hurt. I don't know how to write an actual punchline for the joke that you've suggested, but there's a wonderful joke. Please feel free to submit that pitch to, like, really, in the year 2009, that joke would have killed. Lil Wayne, close to the height of his popularity. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. Less than a year old at that point. Alfred. I wanna lick the rapper. I don't know if that's even a contemporary reference. Ace of Hearts. Probably not worth buying, but I thought, you know, in the moment, it was a decent opportunity there. The Devil. I'm thinking I'll stick with Black Rune, because it's like the best of all available opportunities here. Don't you dare. Dude, the only thing I want out of this run right now is speed. Everything else is amazing right now. Please don't make me reroll my whole run. I see that there is no way that we will miss this, double key room over here. That is a reroll room, as we're aware, thanks to the mind. Please don't make me reroll my whole run. It's a fun run. I'm having a great time with it. I would prefer if you didn't make me reroll my whole run. I'm a slave to the Zane, and I really need you to meet me in the middle here with a seed that just lets me roll with what we got. Okay, we're rerolling the whole run. Let's go. Still got one Black Rune. Loss of blank card. I'm just looking. Damage is good, rate of fire is good, speed's good. Luck's good. HP's fine, but no way to replenish it necessarily. We also have a guppy item. I hope we continue to have mapping. I think that is grandfathered mapping right now. Oh, we have a Thame. Quick bombs. Oh, and full health now. That's worth approximately nothing. Okay, let's head down here. Let's fight the boss. Deal with the devil odds, 36%. This sucks because we did have the goat head, but I'm being real with you. This value to me is more important than the streak. The value of always re-rolling a run, it makes me in this game. It makes me in this game. And sometimes it makes me pee in this game too, but we'll hope that doesn't happen right now. I ruined my best pajama pants. But this still seems pretty actually great. And sure, I'll take the Halo. I mean, the stats are still really good. It's like full speed, best rate of fire without it being, you know, something that breaks the rate of fire cap, basically. A guppy item. Magic Mush, Cricket's Head, Halo, like lots of all stats up. So we have Black Powder as well. So we may want to suck up the... Oh, we can't now, unless we get another spacebar item. You fool. We may want to suck up Mom's bottle of pills when given the opportunity. Similarly, we actually might want to suck up Blood Bag if we get it here. If we get IV Bag, we'd probably suck that up too, but... What do you got? Death. Death. HP. I don't want to take that just yet. I do want to see if maybe we could advance our guppy plans. Hey, I don't dislike this. HP's looking good. We do want to do Boss Rush as well, which is a really good opportunity to use a Black Rune. Although you should remember that if you use a Black Rune there, you are still going to have to fight, which is something I often forget. So we're not picking up the HP because if we get HP naturally, we can play the Blood Bank until it possibly pays out with something anyway. And then if there's 2 bad items, we could get 2 stat upgrades instead of just 1. And then being forced to either stick with the item we get from the Blood Bank or just leave it behind for no recompense. So I'm a fan of doing our due diligence here, especially because we have a lot of time. Like, this run, from a time standpoint, looks very good. From a consumable standpoint, it looks extremely good as well. I just noticed. Yeah, that was not a good move. I thought I could bait him into spawning elsewhere while simultaneously putting down Black Powder, in which case you're going to say, well, if you thought you could bait him into spawning someplace else, why would you put Black Powder down where you were standing? Because obviously he couldn't spawn there. And I'm going to be like, you know what? All this happened essentially in the fraction of a second. So, you're right. This is what really amazes, and again, I want to, anytime I talk about, anytime I talk about something even vaguely scientific related, I want to point out here, I am an idiot. I'm not a neurologist. That's what amazes me about the human brain. Is that when I think about thinking itself, I think me and maybe most other people, I won't speak for other people, but you know, I kind of have this idea that the speed of thought is roughly the speed that my internal monologue speaks to me, which is about the speed that I speak in real life, you know, and if I have an internal monologue going on, it's not talking like Twista from the Slow Jams music video, you know, it's talking at a leisurely pace that allows me to interpret the ideas. But the brain is really capable of transmitting complex ideas in such a short period of time that you understand them. And what's going to mess with you, of course, is the fact that you are your brain to begin with. So, I mean, it's not really transmitting the ideas. It's like, you know, you're perceiving the ideas that it had. But anyway, a great example of this, I think, is when you're a kid and, you know, you do something that gets you into trouble and an authority figure goes like, "What are you thinking?" And you're like, "I don't know, I just wasn't thinking." No, you were. But, like, to articulate it is deep in your head, you're doing, like, a calculation. Oh, what are the odds that I think I'm gonna be caught? And, you know, is the fun of this gonna be worth it? And it all happens in, like, the blink of an eye. And that data exists a lot of the time for you to unpack it later, you know? It's a complicated maelstrom of emotions and rational thought and experience and bias, and it's pretty cool. We got a pretty good computer up there. I did have like one of those whoa dude moments. What did we gulp? I forget what our trinket was. It must be the cancer trinket still, right? That didn't get re-rolled? I hope not. There was a great Twitter thread, if a little, you know, overly flourishy with the language, about like the life of sperm whales. They talk about how they dive down, you know, so many thousands of meters below the surface of the ocean. We don't really want placebos, so you know, to these depths where like the oxygen concentration in the water is like 0 and there's absolutely no sunlight, and the pressure coming in from just from being under the water that deep is so outrageous that like their whole skull is developed, or their whole body really is evolved in order to do it. And they said like it's evolved, all this whole body is evolved and working in concert with itself to keep its brain alive. And I was like, that's a beautiful way, and also a horrifying way to think about life, is that, you know, these human bodies we got here, they just exist to keep our brains alive, but that's not really true. It's to keep the genes alive. You need the brain to use the genes. Unless you're a Kardashian. Ayo! Luck up, thank you. That was just needlessly rude. I'm not on the anti-Kardashian circle jerk, mostly because it's not the year 2008 anymore. Get over it. And secondarily, I've never seen an episode of the television show because I'm an adult and I don't have to watch what my parents or, you know, my sister wants to watch, or, you know, anybody else in my household. Except my wife. I mean, obviously, that's the way, you know, things go at that point. You graduate. Okay. What do you got for me? The Infinity. These are all pretty bad, but on the other hand, well, they're all, shouldn't say they're all pretty bad, because taking the D Infinity and then re-rolling everything else, which would have included the bottle of pills, might have been the right call there. But I like this because we got 4 passive stat bonuses, and it turned out to be like real good. Now the run is not 10 out of 10, but it's quite strong. I would say it's probably in like the, well, for boss rush in particular, it's probably like about a 6. Obviously, we're not, what we lack for boss rush to rise into that, like, you know, B or A plus tier is for it to have a spacebar item that actually benefits us offensively and allows us to kill these enemies without taking for freaking ever to do so. We obviously do not have that. Come on, little Brim. I don't want to blow up this rock. But on normal rooms, this could be a 9. Regular bosses, this could be a 9. It's just, we lack in the spacebar department, and that's what leaves us a little bit behind when it comes to boss rush specifically. But it's still going real well. This is a good run. Always nice when you get that, you know, one day is gonna come and it's gonna bite you in the butt. But when a reroll works out, it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And anytime you can wipe Carrion Queen quickly, that's a huge positive. Blind Rage, we might as well take it, actually. Can't make it over the gap. Lucky us. Yeah, it was, you know, I really don't, you know, there's the common sentiment online like, yo, does it ever freak you out that the brain named itself? I'm like, nah, not really. You know, most professional wrestlers name themselves as well. It's not like that impressive. You know, Terry Bollea came up with the Hulk Hogan persona. That's all I'm trying to say, is that, you know, if he can do it, so can the brain. However, what's amazing to me is that, you know, in like, if you wanted to communicate the idea to somebody else that your brain communicated to you in the blink of an eye, you would need like 500 words sometimes to explain all the depths and complexities of the idea that's come across. Not always. Sometimes you're just like, I'm hungry. I ate the cookie because I'm hungry. But sometimes it's like, I ate. Dearest roommate, you are correct. In a clandestine fit of gluttony, I have eaten your cookie. First, I thought I could replace it before you arrived home. I had forgotten about your early return from your workplace. Secondarily, I thought I needed the cookie for sustenance. And you had had it in the pantry for so long you were not appreciating it, and as a result the cookie was better off with me. I don't know why. It's like a low-rent Daniel Plainview, but... you know, all these things get transmitted or perceived in the blink of an eye. It's incredible. Even like, you know, like our cat's brains. You know, a cat is so dumb. And I don't mean that as an insult. Tomo is a cat. Ruka is smart by cat standards. He's like, he gets up to some mischief. And then, this is what I mean when I say, like, his brain is still amazing. Ignoring the fact that, of course, it controls, you know, everything, essentially, that happens within the body. It knows when it has done something wrong. And by it, I don't mean the cat, because my cat is a he, not an it. It's, I'm referring to the brain in this situation. You know, it's like, I shouldn't have done that 2 minutes ago. So when Kate comes out and goes, hey! It just sort of capitulates and rolls over and goes like, okay, you're right, you got me, now I'm gonna take my punishment. That's incredible. It's meat! How does that thing work? We got a big old filet mignon in our skulls that can handle complex ideas. That's incredible to me. I don't know, man. That's why I think, like, eventually, and this is something that I think is almost, and don't take this the wrong way. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not even a futurist. I don't even go to our futurology. One second. We don't have Dark Bomb. Why did I think we had Dark Bomb? Probably because we got like 20 familiars there. But I'm like, the human brain is absolutely going to be passed by robots, in my opinion. Because it took like millions, well, I mean, it depends on your perspective, I guess. Could have taken billions of years of evolution to get to the human brain. It kind of buys into the idea of a false narrative that evolution is like a singularly minded goal to produce the most, like, quote-unquote highly evolved structure on the planet, which you could potentially argue is the human brain. That's not really how it works, but anyway, it took like, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of years of human evolution in order to get this brain that's as incredible as this one is. And, like, computers have only been around for, like, 60 years. We're starting, well, I guess it's 2018, maybe a little longer than 60 years, but we're getting close. That's it. People, occasionally, they'll be under the impression, oh, technology's so slow. It's not. It's, like, the fastest thing in history. You know what technology was 100,000 years ago? You'd choose a spouse and then have 15 kids, and then the kid of yours that was the most fit to reproduce had like more infants than the other ones, and all of a sudden, you know, these advantageous traits over the course of tens of thousands of years start to proliferate throughout the population. Yeah, that's, you want to talk about primitive freaking technology, how about that? It's kind of a little bit of a well, it's a primitive look at how evolution works to begin with, but you know, for the broad view of the subject, it'll work. Okay, pop this. We're probably not gonna fight Hush here, by the way. Now it's like kids are making freaking Pac-Man in Nintendo Labo. I was gonna go to the boss trap room. I still will, but I was too. 67% chance of a deal with the devil. I'm hoping we have 2 guppy items. Excuse me? This doesn't seem right. I just did this room. 2 of the same room? Infested's fine. Ooh. Not particularly strong. If we get like sad bombs or something, I'm in. So we took this from a run that was like great on stats to a run that is very good on stats. That's really what it's come down to here. Hard to be upset about it. I think we're only a couple of items away from having some real killing power, though. I just don't know what the power would be. Bracano? You know, in hindsight, I think it's actually a bad idea to check our curse room here. AWAS, huh? Originally, I was very down for it, and then I realized our HP is not necessarily indefensible right now. Like, our pills, we know Balls of Steel's in the rotation, we know Full Health's in the rotation, because we're holding one. But I'd rather not throw too much of a monkey wrench into it, you know? We already committed ourselves to the Zane by doing the full run reroll. We've been doing some Zany-ish runs lately. And they've been working out. But I think part and parcel with a little Zane enablance, hi guys, is, you know, you gotta recognize every time you Zane, you're rolling the dice. The more times you're rolling the dice, the more likely you are to, at one point, have one of those permutations be negative for you. It's not gambler's fallacy. If you roll the dice 1,000 times, you're much more likely to get 1 snake eyes than you are to get 0. And all we need is 1 snake eyes with something like a missing no or a full run reroll, or hey, we went into the cursed room and all of a sudden, accidentally, now we got Curse of the Tower and 2 less HP than we'd otherwise have. You know, it adds up. So I took the big Zane. I took the big dice roll. Oh, let's go. And now I'm here to pull back a little bit. Appears we will surmount this run effectively, though. Curse of the Unknown this way. Curse of the Unknown is fine. It's the curse with the easiest solution. All you have to do is not get hit. As long as you don't get hit, you know you got some HP. Well, even that is kind of like incorrect. As much as that was a joke to begin with, it's also wrong. Because it does matter how much HP you have, even if you don't take damage. Because you know, might need to know it for a deal with the devil, for example. But for our purposes right now, where there should be no deal with the devil here. And we already know we have 2 red hearts, still 2 red hearts, and 6 spirit hearts, or 5 spirit hearts, like, we would just take the deal. If it was good. If it was worth taking. Whoa! That dude, I didn't even see him, he blended in, somehow. Hear me out here. AWAS should give you a chance at getting a crawl space up here. Wait, no, hear me out. AWAS should always give you a crawl space or a black market on the cathedral. Your initial reaction might be that that's a little overpowered, but how often do you have an AWAS rune here? Like once every 10 runs? Beyond that, how often does a crawl space prove to be useful? Because, you know, when you have crawl space versus black market, it's like 90% it's going to be a crawl space. Crawl space gives you like 3 cents. Or a trinket that could be amazing, could be horrible. So, you know, just something. The AWAS rune, it's just unsatisfying when you pop it here and nothing happens. Like, even to this day, I'm like, is this working as intended or is something broken? I do not know. Pencil's good. Box of spiders? Yeah, I think we'll swap it out. Because we might require a full health pill. Or at least desire, if not require. Alright, run's looking good. Rate of fire is so good that this pencil is actually like... It's like having a third eye that shoots a Monstro's lung out. Don't mind it. And we actually were able to use the tiers upgrade. Yeah, this is actually incredible now. The items keep coming. If we weren't guaranteed to win before, Relic pretty much guarantees that we're going to win now. Nah. See, and that's not anti-Zane. Our run right now is just worse if we take Epic Fetus and less zany. So it's an easy situation for me to make a decision in. So we will go to win 16, and, you know, the next milestone, definitely 20. 20 and 25. Let's not get cocky and assume that they're guaranteed to happen, but... Well, in truth, the next milestone is beating a run that we're not supposed to win, I guess. That would be more, you know, because win 20 might be like, hey, we started with Mom's Knife. And win 17 might be like, we have double-digit tiers and, you know, under 2 damage total. So, you can never just say that... You never know when the run's gonna, you know, bring a reckoning for you, but I'm happy right now. Hey, stop it. More AWAs. Doesn't matter. Crack the Sky is actually decent as long as it hits, and it did indeed hit. Stop. Alright. Continue to feel pretty switched on here. Always gotta say thank you. Not just to you for watching, but for the game. For hooking us up with a reroll that didn't ruin our streak. So for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps it a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.